Hello, my dear. I'm Tilly, and I'm so glad you found your way here today. Before we begin, take a slow breath and just allow yourself to be still for a moment. Because there is a very specific energy coming through this reading. I feel someone who has been trying to move on from you, trying to distract themselves, trying to convince themselves that they are okay. Maybe they told themselves that enough time has passed. Maybe they decided to focus on work, money, responsibilities, or simply their own life. But somehow, they keep coming back to you. Not necessarily physically, but mentally, emotionally. And sometimes, when everything around them becomes quiet, you are the person they think about. There is something about this connection that they haven't been able to completely release. And the more they try to create distance, the more they seem to realize that their feelings haven't disappeared. They may not be showing you any of this. In fact, some of you may believe this person has completely moved on. But what I'm picking up is very different. I feel someone who is quietly asking themselves, why can't I stop thinking about her? And there is another question underneath that one. Has she finally moved on from me? So let's see what the cards want to reveal. Take what resonates with you, my love, and leave anything that doesn't. You don't have to force this reading to fit your situation. Just allow the message to unfold naturally. Okay. I'm immediately getting a very emotional energy here. This person has feelings that they don't fully express. And I don't think this is someone who necessarily finds it easy to talk about their emotions. They may actually be the type of person who feels deeply, but says very little. They can appear calm, detached, busy, even unaffected. But underneath that surface, there is a lot more happening. I feel like this person has tried to control their thoughts about you. They may have told themselves, I need to let this go. I need to focus on myself. I need to stop looking back. But the problem is, their heart didn't receive the same message. And that's where the conflict begins. Because logically, they may believe that moving forward is the right thing to do. But emotionally, they're still connected. I also feel that this person remembers very specific things about you. Not just your appearance, not just the conversations, but the way they felt around you, your energy, your presence. Something about you made them feel understood. And that is difficult to replace. They may have tried to distract themselves with work, social life, responsibilities, or even other people. But distractions don't always remove feelings. Sometimes they simply make you realize what you're still missing, and I feel that realization has been happening for this person. Slowly, quietly, almost against their will. Now, there's something interesting coming through. Because I don't feel this person simply misses you. I feel like they're also watching from a distance, trying to understand where you are emotionally, trying to figure out whether you still think about them, and most importantly, whether there is still a place for them in your life. Let's look deeper. Wow, this explains a lot. There is definitely distance here. For some of you, this could be physical distance. For others, it's emotional distance. Maybe you haven't spoken in a while. Maybe communication became inconsistent. Maybe this person disappeared. Or perhaps the connection simply became complicated and neither of you knew what to do next. But what I feel strongly is that the distance was partly intentional. Someone here tried to create space. And I think that person believed the space would make things easier. They thought, if I step away, eventually I'll stop feeling this. But it didn't work that way. Because instead of disappearing, the feelings became louder. And this person may now be realizing something uncomfortable. They didn't actually stop caring. They simply stopped showing it. And there is another layer here. I feel that this person has been very focused on practical things. Work, money, career, responsibilities, trying to build stability, trying to keep their mind occupied. And honestly, they may have genuinely needed that. But even when they're busy, their thoughts still find their way back to you, especially during quiet moments, at night, when they're alone, when something reminds them of you, a song, a place, a conversation, something completely random. And suddenly, there you are again. What they're afraid of. Now this is where the energy becomes much more interesting. Because I feel that one of their biggest fears is not simply losing you, it's realizing that you have already moved on. They may be wondering, does she still care? Does she still think about me? Has someone else entered her life? Would she even want to hear from me anymore? And I think this fear is stronger than they let anyone know, because there was a time when they may have assumed that you would still be there. Maybe they didn't consciously think that. But somewhere inside, they believed the connection would remain available. And now they aren't so sure, because you've changed. You're not standing in exactly the same emotional place anymore. You may have become quieter, more protective of yourself, less willing to chase, less willing to accept uncertainty. And this person can feel that shift. Even if you haven't told them anything, your silence may be communicating more than words ever did. And now, I'm getting a very strong message about communication. There is something this person wants to say, but they don't know exactly how to say it. And this is important, because I don't feel like they necessarily want to come forward with some huge emotional confession immediately. They may start small, a simple message, a casual question, something that seems almost meaningless. Hey, how have you been? Or, I was thinking about you. Or even something completely random. But underneath that simple message, there is a much bigger reason. They're testing the door. They're trying to find out whether it's still open. They're trying to understand how you would react, because they're afraid of being rejected. And they're even more afraid of discovering that you no longer feel the same way. Okay, I definitely feel movement here, but I want you to listen carefully. This isn't necessarily about a guaranteed message at a specific date. Tarot is showing energy and possibilities, and the energy here is movement after a period of hesitation. This person has been thinking about what to say, thinking about whether they should reach out, thinking about what your response might be. And I feel that eventually, the need to know becomes stronger than the fear of approaching you. They want clarity. They want to know where they stand. Do they still matter to you? Are you still emotionally connected? Could something still happen between you? And I feel that this curiosity is becoming difficult for them to ignore. But there is something you need to understand. If this person does come forward, don't do the emotional work for them. You don't need to explain everything. You don't need to convince them. You don't need to immediately tell them how much you miss them. Let them speak. Let them show you why they're coming back. Because words are easy. Consistency is different. And if you're still here with me, I want you to take a little moment. If this reading is resonating with your situation, leave a comment. I let what is meant for me find me. And if you enjoy these readings, and the energy of Tilly resonates with you, make sure you subscribe. There are many more readings coming. Now, let's continue, because I feel like the next cards are going to tell us something important about what happens if this person actually returns. Okay, this energy feels different, because I don't want you to focus only on whether they return. The bigger question is, what version of them is coming back? Someone can miss you. Someone can think about you. Someone can regret losing you. Someone can even feel deeply connected to you. But that doesn't automatically mean they're ready for a healthy relationship. And I feel the cards are asking you to pay attention to that distinction. If this person comes back with the same behavior, the same inconsistency, the same disappearing and returning, then nothing has really changed. But if they come back with clarity, with honesty, with consistency, with actual effort, then you have something different to evaluate. And I think this is the lesson for you. Don't be impressed simply because they return. Watch how they return. Do they take responsibility? Do they communicate clearly? Do they make an effort? Do they give you peace instead of confusion? Because you deserve more than someone who only realizes your value when you're no longer available to them. Now let's bring this reading toward the final message. And honestly, the strongest energy I'm feeling isn't about chasing this person. It's about you coming back to yourself. You've already spent enough time wondering what they think, what they feel, whether they'll come back, whether they'll send the message, whether they regret what happened. But perhaps the bigger question is, what do you want now? Because you have changed. Your standards have changed. Your understanding of love has changed. You may still have feelings. You may still care. You may still secretly hope that this person reaches out. And that's okay. You don't have to pretend that you don't care. But caring about someone doesn't mean abandoning yourself for them. And if this person really does have feelings for you, let them show you. Don't chase. Don't force. Don't create excuses for their silence. Don't turn every little sign into proof that they're coming back. Allow reality to speak. Because the right connection doesn't leave you constantly questioning your worth. It doesn't make you wonder where you stand every single day. It doesn't require you to beg for clarity. It brings effort. It brings honesty. It brings reciprocity. And most importantly, it brings peace. So if this person is meant to return, let them return differently. Let them come with intention. Let them come with maturity. Let them come ready to communicate. Because you don't need the old version of this connection anymore. You need something that can actually meet you where you are now. And my dear, I do feel that this story isn't completely finished. There may still be a conversation waiting to happen. There may still be something that needs to be said. There may still be an unexpected moment of contact. But don't sit there waiting for it. Live your life. Protect your peace. Keep moving forward. And if they truly want a place in your life, let them show you. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is stop reaching and simply watch who chooses to reach for you. Take a breath. Release the need to know exactly when or how. What's meant for you doesn't need to be chased into existence. And if this person has truly recognized your value, their actions will eventually reveal that recognition. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I'm Tilly. And if this reading found you at exactly the right moment, maybe there was a reason. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, protect your heart, trust your intuition, and remember your worth. I'll see you in the next one, my dear.